Okay, I might as well get into it. What happened was, in St. Louis, I didn't get my Junar XL done, and I wanted to come back here and shoot some clear on at John's, but he's having a problem with his kitchen, so he's got the whole place torn up, and it's just not feasible. So I kind of got to make do in my closet here. So what I thought of while I was coming down, driving home, is I would just stop and get an airbrush compressor. We're going to see how it works. This is not going to be the functionality of that compressor. I'm just going to unbox this compressor and explain to you what I got. And then I'm going to lay out the stencils that I've cut for my Junar to finish out the process. I'm only going to shoot clear with this, and it's only a spot about that big, so it's not like I'm trying to shoot a whole airplane. So let's look at what we got here. All right. So I went online and I looked, and they had a airbrush compressor for $69.99. Of course, when I got there, they didn't have that compressor. They had one for $89.99. But you get a free airbrush. Like I need another airbrush. So smells just like China. And we get we get a nice hose. Man, it does smell like China. It smells like a shipping container. Typical Harbor Freight. Hopefully this thing's going to work. I will post a video probably tomorrow of me using it, maybe outside, because can't paint in here, and I'm hoping that this little compressor will do the job. It should. It's for an airbrush, so we'll see. Anyway, I'll take that off. It has a nice little handle. It's a cute little devil. Doesn't have a regulator on it. Of course, I doubt it puts out enough air to regulate, but we shall see. Oh, we get an as I said, we get a free airbrush with it. It looks very similar to my Iwata Eclipse, so the parts will probably interchange. Heck, it's even sealed up. So it's probably a Chinese knockoff of the Iwata, which is Chinese made. But we'll leave that in the box. I don't need that, because I have my Grex airbrush, and it's a good one. So what do we need to do to make all this work together, because it doesn't look like it's going to work together. Let's see here. That's got a little end on it. That's got a big end on it. That's got a big end. Yeah, this is going to be difficult. I may have to use that, either that or my Iwata, because this goes from eighth to quarter. Yeah, that's not going to work. So it looks like I'm not going to be able to use my Grex airbrush. Oh no, I do. Maybe. That fits on there all right. How about this end? But this end doesn't fit. Yeah, we're kind of screwed. How is this going to work here? I know. I'll have to tape my complete regulator setup out of the loop and use their regulator setup and hose, which is alright, because this is just, like I say, it's a temporary thing. It's just so I can get the job done. Terry. Painted thousands of and hundreds of bolts in RC aircraft. Let's see. I've got that product, no airbrush, but it's a good moisture trap regulator. Okay, good. Well, that's good to know, Terry. Thanks. And it looks like I'm going to be able to use my Grex airbrush, but I have to use their hose, which is fine. I mean, it's just more rigmarole. So it's, I don't know, it's about a 10-foot hose. And it goes on there nicely. I'll know when it's in 1 second if this is going to work or not. So this is my Grex airbrush. These are very expensive, but very good. It's a German airbrush. Alright, let's plug it in and see how much pressure it's going to put out and if I think it's going to work. If it is, I'll go ahead and we'll lay up the stencils. Okay. Yeah, I think it'll work. Yeah, should work. Very low pressure. Starts out at 60. Oh, it even has a shut off. 60 pounds and drops to 15. So that should work good. Too cool. All right, that was $89, which is a ripoff, but whatever. Yes, that's a Grex airbrush, Richard. I'll get all the quick disconnects and stuff for it later. This Grex, I have the fan spray nozzle, the big tip, and of course the big cup on it. I have a ton of fittings for this thing. I got a lot of money tied up in Grex. I'm happy with the airbrush compressor, so I don't even need the wrenches. That's good. Okay, we'll shut this off and we'll lay out the stencils. So at least tomorrow, if it comes up that I can go flying, I'll be able to fly because I'll have it painted. We'll put that right there. Now, this repair job was done basically like a real airplane. I didn't paint the whole airplane, as you may or may not have seen in the videos over the weekend. I just repaired the hull, and where's my? I repaired the hull. And then, see, we're going to do it on that side. And then I just patched a panel just like you would on a real airplane. There's a slight variance in color in the orange because this orange has been in the sun, plus it has clear on it. But after the repair, you shouldn't be able to tell. I mean, yeah, you'll be able to tell if you stand up on it and look at it like Jim Lynch does, but from 10 feet away it'll look fine. Okay. Now, on this panel, I had left just one little corner of where the one goes. So I took the stencil and I put this down on top of it. You know what? I'm going to need my transfer tape. Shoot, it's in the car. And if you look here, this panel now cuts her foot off. Well, I have a secret for that too. I'm going to have to go out to the car and get my transfer tape, but the decals, the stencil's going to go here, and where her foot is cut off, it's going to have a 3-color YouTube badge. So we'll put a white square over her foot with black printing U on it and the red printing tube. So it'll be an official YouTube banner. So give me a second. My car is like 100 feet away. I'm going to go out in the car and get the transfer tape so I can get this on, and we'll start laying out the paper. And I ended up buying some masking paper from Harbor Freight, which was cheap, or it was either that or I was going to stop by Lowe's and get the green stuff. This is manila, like paper bag stuff. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Alright, now I don't have any black dope here. All my dope stuff is over John's, but we won't worry about it. I picked up a can of Perfect Match Duplicolor paint. It is lacquer. You got to look at the can, make sure it has all the good stuff in it that'll kill you. The xylene, toluene, methane, whatever. And that's what we're going to use for black, because it's only 5 letters. Black is black. Except not really. Okay, so the first thing you do with these stencils is you gotta put the transfer tape on them. I'll push this out of the way. I'll get my scraper here. This is a good tool. This is a real sign. It's a sign, guys. I don't know what you call it. I call it like it's like a Bondo putty knife, but it's a little stiffer. So this is low tech Aura cover. Let's see, I'll give you the correct Aura mask. 813 masking film I use on my plotter. Very low tech, so you doesn't leave any residue. Take the masking tape, transfer tape, stick it. I might as well do the YouTubes too. The reason why you want to flatten this out is so that the stencil goes on and lays down flat. You like that finish, Richard? Not one of my best. It's this is 4 years old now. Been rode pretty hard. It'll get about 16 or 17 at the Nats, but probably 18 or 19 at local contests. But I'm kind of giving you guys a look into my head. When you're stuck, you're not really stuck. You just gotta think. You know, I knew in St. Louis that I didn't have my sign plotter there, so I didn't think ahead. I should have, and I could have got the numbers on it if I would have thought ahead. But I have all the dope in the car. I'm not going to bring it in the apartment here because, like I say, this is not my place, so I can't. I'm sure the neighbors would kind of freak out if I started painting in here. So I got to do it outside, and I'll do that in the morning. But we'll get it all taped up, masked up, and ready to go for tomorrow. So this is the first. This square here is the first part I'm going to put on. And you say, why the first? Well, this is a 3-color mask. I use these bounding boxes as indexed. Fred, I make the stencils. How the stencils came about was I used to go to Fast Signs, and he would make me stencils. But he would charge me $25 an airplane, which is not really much. Except I had to do the artwork and the weeding and all this other stuff. So all I was paying for was his cutter, which is fine. Anyway, I had 10 airplanes to paint for a gentleman, and it was going to be $250 in stencils. So it was either $250 in stencils or $300 to buy a cutter and do it myself. So it made a lot of sense. So just buy the cutter. And now I got it, and I've made hundreds of stencils already on this thing. It's more than paid for itself. I don't understand why this thing, enough video. Hopefully it's coming through okay. YouTube's having issues. Because I'm streaming with OBS and the bit rate's fine, and unless the internet is slow or whatever. Okay, so now I got all the stencils ready to go. Here's a trick on how to put your stencils on and get them on right. Let me open this widget, see what's up. Open widget, okay, great. Stream status poor, okay. Am I coming through alright? Give me a thumbs up if it's coming. It looks alright on there. I don't know. Anyway, her foot is cut off right here. Because I ended this repair at this panel line right here, so off went her foot. I no longer have that stencil. I forgot to save it, or I could have just repainted the whole thing, but that's not a problem. We'll just busy it up with the YouTube logo. So over her foot, it'll look like she's got her foot behind the YouTube insignia. Not a big deal. It's kind of like, just like when I got a mistake, I don't try to hide the mistake. I highlight the mistake and make it look like I meant to do it. Okay, so you get your stencil where you want it. Put a piece of tape on it and hinge it back like so. Then peel the backing off. Maybe. Come on. Shoot, I'm going to have to get it started before I get it put down there. There we go. Okay, one more try. So I get it straight on there. I just eyeball it. You can measure it if you like. Stick it down, roll it back, peel the backing off. And then just push it down. Yeah, it's on straight, so that's good. So now tape comes off, and then the transfer tape comes off. If I had a spray can of white, I'd spray this white. But I gotta mix up all the stuff and use the airbrush tomorrow. I don't feel like doing it tonight. It's starting to get dark. It's not dark, but come on, get off there. There we go. It says the stream is choppy. Is it okay? I'll check the bit rate on the next go round. Well, I guess I can measure it and see what it looks like, because if it ain't right, I can make another one. Okay, double check. Come on. There, no. Yeah, I had a small sharp ruler. Where the hell did it go? I've got to clean this place up. Oh, I brought back my Al Ray BBQ Bearcat kit, and we're going to build that online. Hopefully you can hear that. Let's see how this looks. We got 10, 12, 13, 14. It's a few thousandths off. Close enough. Won't worry about it. Anyway, so now I've got to try to get this stencil on straight. I'm not going to be able to do it the same way I just did that unless I do it this way. I've taken the one and set it down on here. I'm going to match the one to this, hopefully. I might have to do this a couple of times too, by the looks of it, because I can't see. I need to get some light on the object. Hell, getting old. Can't see nothing. Let's see, light. Yeah, we got light now. Let's see if I can see it. Nope. I have to guess. Man, that was a guess. Well, hopefully that's right. It's close. Close. The hell's my knife? Well, it looks like our stream is straightened out. I had a knife for picking. What happened to it? It's on there real close. I think I might have to straighten it up by hand, but I'm not sure. Come on. No knife under there. Use this blade and see what happens. Please be close. Okay, let's see what happens. So all I had to work with to index this was that little square of black right there. That's it. So hopefully I got it. If it's close, it'll be fine. Yeah, it's close enough. Within a couple of thousandths. And I do mean a couple thousandths. There's like, it's not even a 60. You know, it's. Well, I don't know what's finer than a 64th because it's just a few thousandths, a hair off. I mean, not even a hair. So it'll be fine. The hard part to do this job was getting the size of all my letters are custom. They're not 2-inch or 3-inch or whatever. I fit those letters to fit the wing panel. So this was 9. The distance between here and here was 9 and 13/16. Oddball. And the height of the letter was 2 7/8 or some stupid thing. So, well, hopefully we got it. I'd like to find my good ruler so I could measure. There it is. Okay, I got a machinist scale here. The YouTube is 7/16 on that side. Half inch on, it's a 16th off. You never see it. And this is 2 5/8 there, and 2 5/8 there. Man, my eyes are good. So this is on straight, and you saw that I just eyeballed it. I didn't index it up or anything. I just eyeballed it and set it down, but it's right on the money. 2 5/8 from the trailing edge. 2 5/8. 2 5/8. So I'm happy with that. So now we're gonna mask it up. After I get this painted black here and this painted white, I actually should paint white first. I think I will. I'll paint white first, and then I can lay this down over the top of that and paint it black, paint everything black. How's that going to work? Yeah, paint everything black, and then mask all this up and put this on and paint it red. And that'll leave the tube right there, if that makes sense. Let me give you a better shot of what I'm talking about. This is a 3 mask setup. This gets painted white Then we'll take the U. If you look at the YouTube logo and you plug the hole with the U, paint it black, peel this off so it'll be white underneath it. Then you put this on, plug the hole, and paint it red, and then peel this off plus the letters so it'll be red with the white letters. Perfect. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to get excited and paint this black right now. I'll do that tomorrow after I get the white painted. And then the trick is, how are we going to get the clear on there to look like it hasn't been repaired? And it's really not that hard. The clear will be masked off on the outside of this. Even though the line ends here, it'll be masked off on the outside of this with the tape rolled backwards. So what I mean by that is, if you take a piece of tape, I'm going to hardline it up here, but if you take a piece of tape and hardline it, it'll leave a hard line, which there is here now for the orange. But if you take a piece of tape and you roll it backwards, there's no hard line. It's kind of like it feathers itself out. And if I had some blending agent, I could blend it. But you fold it back like so. Backwards, and then put the paper on top of this so that there's no hard line. It's just a rolled underneath line. And then that'll sand out real easy with 1000 grit or 1500. So now I gotta tape this mess up here. Now over at John's, I showed him how I mask and paint everything at once. You know, some guys will mask something and then mask something over the top of that. This will all get painted at the same time. Within 2 minutes each other, I'll have all the colors on it. It's not that big a deal. And how I do that is what I'm going to show you here. I probably should have lessened the stickum on that. Hopefully it won't peel the paint up. This tape here, this 3M tape, is Autobot automotive tape. It is so sticky, you better be darn careful with it, because it will pull the paper off. But it does leave a nice line. So take the tape and put it on your shirt a couple times to get some of the stickum off. You don't need it that sticky, just like I did there. So we'll put it back down. And we're keeping quite a bit on the plastic, the low-tack mask anyway. But I want to get that. I like double tape. It seems like a big pain in the rear, but it's worth it. Any questions? Hit the like button. I've had 11 watchers. Got 8 watchers now and only 2 likes. Hit the thumbs up. It helps the channel. It helps my metrics. Even if you hit the thumbs down button, it helps the metrics. It doesn't matter. Super chats are welcome. Please become a member. Help the channel. Might have to go to the car again and get some tape. Looks like I'm out. I'll show you the Ray Bearcat kit here when I get this taped up. That's going to be a fun project. See, I'm here in Dayton. I'm out of my element. This is not where I live. I have no friends here except John. I go to work, I come home, and I sit and either watch TV or do something constructive. So I choose to build airplanes. But I'm running out of room. Okay, so now I'm going to tape all this off with paper. Paper it all off. And when I go to shoot it, I'm going to shoot white first. I'll just take a card and hold it up here and keep the overspray off of this. And when the white dries, I'll take the card and cover that like so. Shoot the black. Then when the black's dry, you take the card and you fold it back the other way and shoot the red. It's pretty simple. Why make it hard? General purpose masking paper, 15-inch, 60 yards for $5. That was a good deal. We'll see how good it is. Should work. I remember as a kid, we used to get the LA Times, and the LA Times was, the Herald Examiner was thin, but the LA Times had a lot of paper in it. That's the Sunday LA Times. Whee. But when you mask with newspaper, especially on a white airplane, it leaves the black ink. Some guys mask with tin foil. That's probably pretty good, except it's kind of expensive. And we're not painting, a whole lot with a whole lot of pressure or whatever, so you don't really have to worry about taping everything up. At least I don't. You can if you want, but usually it doesn't, especially with an airbrush, doesn't go any farther than the area you're spraying. And if it does, a little bit of rubbing compound on a paper towel, it'll come right off, because it has no adhesion. I should have thought of this. I didn't know I was going to fly this airplane at the nest. I thought maybe I'd fly the high roller, but that airplane just does not fly that well. To me, anyway. I mean, I'm sure somebody could make it work, but I don't like the weight. It's 62 ounces. It's just too heavy. Got a lot of weight in those. I got my tucker all in white. I thought about it and thought about it. I'm real close on the weight where I, you know, the max weight where I'm at, and if you guys were to know me, I just stop painting when it hits 58 ounces. I'm going to quit. So we're going to change up the design, the paint scheme some, which it'll be attractive, but I probably should have just shot it red instead of putting white on it, but then the red wouldn't have been bright. Why don't I move? Because the job is here. I'd go back home. If you see, this place is paid for by the company. The minute that they quit paying for this place, I'll quit and I'll go back to St. Louis, because there's nothing here for me. I mean, John's here for me. John is a good friend, but when Jerry passed away, Jerry was the reason I came here. I've already told his wife, you know, I'm sorry to say that they give me any crap at work, which they do, which I think is age discrimination. I work harder than anybody there, and they try to make me work harder. And kids stand around. Okay. Damn. Okay, how are we gonna get that shape in there? I guess I'll just eyeball it. So I need to go this way. Come on. Don't want to cooperate. Give it another swap. And then this way. We got 9 watchers and only 3 likes. Hit the like button, guys. Hit the super chat button. Be a big tipper. help a bro out. With the gnats coming, I gotta buy some more bandwidth for the hotspot. Okay, so now it's best to tape down all the edges. Any of you guys ever painted a car, especially if you're going to shoot red. You know that red will find every open nook, and you won't know it until after you unmask it. You can lay a towel over the airplane, over the back half, when you shoot it, and it'll be fine. So we're going to hang this back on the wall. We're going to talk about the Walter Unlin kit. I'll pull that out and show you what it includes. Cut some of this paper off here. I got way too much. I got way too much on here. That's all right. Okay. That's enough of that. Put this over here. And let's tape that down. So when I go to paint it tomorrow, I'll just throw a towel over this. My snap-on beach towel, and that'll keep that protected. You know, all this work right here, I swear, it will be less than a minute of painting to do the whole thing. The cleanup will be longer than the painting, and that right there took the longest out of everything. We'll do that tomorrow. So I'm going to hang this back up. Come on. Now I've been posting videos about Al Rage's BBQ. It's a sweet looking airplane, and Al can fly it. He gets the most out of it that he can. I'm not a big guy, so looks like we're froze up here. Oh, there we are. I'm not a big guy, so it's going to be difficult for me to fly the thing, but I'm going to build it just because it looks cool. And I'm going to try to cut the weight. If I can cut the weight, I might be able to fly it okay. We're not going to build no 150-ounce critical mass. But we'll go through some things here on Al's airplane, on Al's design. So about 3 years ago, Walter Unlin sent me a BBQ kit, because it's always been on my bucket list to build. And this is a short kit. Let's see when he sent it. It's got a date on it. It's 5 years ago, September 1st, 2015. So 5 years ago, he sent me this kit. Been sitting in my shop, and I just haven't mustered up the gumption to do it. But because it's a complicated build, I decided I'd do it here in the apartment. It'd probably take me 6 months or better to build it. But Al also sent me this is my Sato. Al sent me his muffler. He had it made for himself, and he just never used it. I have the correct, this is the wrong canopy. I have two of the correct Tanks hanger canopies. Looks like there's some cut off the back of that one. I don't know. It'll be fine, because we're not going to make a sliding canopy. But that'll be fine. So I got the canopy, the muffler, the motor. It's Sato 72. And we're going to do it just like Al would do it and see how it works, except we're going to try to make it lighter. I brought home the last of my St. Louis contest wood. Come on. There we go. But this is a Walter Umland kit. I haven't taken it out of the box. I did open it today and look inside there at the plans. Just because I wanted to. Cut that tape off the bottom. I don't remember what deal I had worked out with Walter on this, but we'll do it for the YouTube channel. And then maybe sell it or raffle it off or something. So, we have a whole set of plywood parts here. A lot of plywood. These are the wing rib sets. Shoot, the bulkheads are already cut. Look at the size of that mama. That's how big around the fuselage is. It's huge. I'm not sure. I have to watch Al's videos, but I think you have to glue all this stuff to balsa wood. All these 64th plywood sheets get glued to balsa wood. I don't know. We don't need to take that out anyway. We're not going to start working on it right away, but we'll look at the plans. Whatever it is, it's going to get good wood in it, not crap wood. So, let me move this stuff off here so we can unroll it good. I'm gonna have to watch Al's videos how he did this stuff, because this construction here is not the way I do things. Looks like he's using 5/16 wire, or yeah, 5/16 wire, 3/16 wire. Look at the size of that thing. God. Wingtip template. Center of the bottom of the longeron shoulder. F pocket 1/8 inch. Yeah, see, all those plywood pieces need to be glued onto 1/8 inch plywood, or 1/8 inch balsa. But I brought contest 1/8 inch home, so revision 9/12 of 02. Molded latest tank, added latest tank template. I don't know where that is. And we'll see here. By God, it does have a tank template. Soldering flap. Yeah, it's got all the stuff in it. Few slots. God, it's huge. Look at the size of them flaps. Man. At the root, that flap is 3.5 inches. At the tip, that flap is 2 inches. That is a flap, buddy. Auxiliary spar. 1/8 by 1/4 spars. Main spar. Gear location. Gear bay to gear bay auxiliary spar bottom only. This is different. It's out of my norm. So it's gonna be something to do. I think Al builds this stabilizer in his hands. I'm not sure. I think. Leave wing strut several inches too long until soldering complete. Yeah, you think? Shape ahead of A. I see what's going on there. Yep, gonna be different. But John and I are gonna build this together. I'll I'll do, you know, a lot of the work here at the apartment. Oh, this is the jig layout. Gives you 4 7/8, 5 1/4. Let's see if that's right. 5 1/4 to where? Center line. Okay. So with this particular style of model, I'm going to have to not only build the skeleton, I'm going to have to build the bucks to mold the wood. So I've got to do this twice. Now Al does his out of plaster, we'll do ours out of foam, I'm sure. tab. Kit available for a Sato 91, a PA, a Rojet 61 and 76. But we're going to run the 72 in it. I got an 85, but three and an 8. Where's that at? 3. Sure looks like. See, Al's got motor offset in this too, 3 degrees. So that's a good thing. Well, he says 2 degrees here, but it looks like 3 to me. Let's see what anybody said over here. All right, 1/8 inch shell splice, 3/32 shells. I happen to have a whole bunch of contest 3/32. I brought back this bundle of wood from St. Louis. Now, this wasn't my best piece of 1 inch. The best piece of 1 inch I had went under the wingtips. I wish I'd have had this piece here because I wouldn't have used my best piece. This is 6-pound wood. That was 3.5-pound wood. But that's 6-pound, and all this other stuff here is 4.5-pound to 5-pound wood, 1/8 inch and 3/32. So that'll be good for this airplane anyway. There's probably not quite enough here, but they're in my balsa rack here. I'm sure there's enough wood here to build this. Here's a box of 16th. No, this is 3/32. And here's a box. This is 4 inch. This is good stuff. 16th and 3/32. I got some 77,000 stuff here too. We got enough wood to build the airplane. Just a matter of doing it. I'm going to have to brush up on the Alraid building methods though, because it's so much different than what I'm normally used to. Let's see here. Let's see. There we go. Oh, too far down now. tough. It's tough here. Okay, we'll transition with that. Transition. You guys got any questions of what I'm doing? I'm hoping that the videos that I'm putting out are helping you build lighter, straighter, prettier airplanes. I get from time to time letters saying that it works. Why is that dark? Huh. Oh, I see. I don't know what happened here. It went dark. Something went crazy. All right, I'm going to end the stream here. Let's try this other cam and see if it went dark too. Transition. That one didn't go dark. I wonder what the heck happened. My favorite plane right now is my June RXL. I'm going to be flying that at the Nats. I don't understand what happened to this camera here. Oh, I do now. Yeah, I see what happened. The light. It doesn't like the light. Oh well. Anyway, guys, like, subscribe, and share the videos. And I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll get that thing painted up. I'll have the white, the black, the red, and the clear on before noon tomorrow. So look for me early. All right, guys, have a good night. Till I see you again, fair winds, tight lines. See ya.